Welcome to the Tuttle and Kline Show.
Good morning to you, Calvin. Hi. How you doing, buddy?
Tuttle? I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
I love that shirt. You got the Tuttle and Kline Hawaiian brassiere. It's Thomas Magnum meets the chaos of Tuttle and Kline.
I sent you the link a while back. I didn't know if you wanted, but I bought 3 different ones. So over the next 3 weeks, when you log on to the YouTube account and watch this video, you're going to see 3 different Tuttle and Kline shirts.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to ask, do they sell it in medium for me?
Oh, they sell it in I think there's 8 or 9 different sizes. So yeah, you could definitely get one for medium. So
okay.
Yeah, and your shirt today, Led Zeppelin, your all-time favorite band.
Correct.
A little foreshadowing, Timmy.
What do you got, Kevin Kline?
Do you want to just jump in the top 3 right now?
Oh! Well, yeah, let's do it.
Just when you thought they couldn't count any higher, it's Tuttle and Kline's top 3.
All right. Based on the conversation that I had last week with Phil Soussan, who played with Jimmy Page, this is the top 3 that when I started doing top 5, top 3 lists in my head when I was running, this is the first one I came up with. Not influential, innovative. Top 3 most innovative guitar players of all time.
Joe Satriani.
Okay, what made him innovative?
I couldn't believe how fast his fingers were moving when I saw him.
Okay.
Now, if you haven't heard about Joe Satriani, I mean, virtuoso.
Oh, yeah, he's amazing.
I don't think you can even connect him to any specific bands, Kevin Kline.
No, he was a solo artist.
He's just the guy that people would bring in for special things. You know, he's that guy.
Yeah.
If guitarists were assassins, he would be the number 1 assassin that they would call in if they had a really big job they needed to do.
Uh-huh.
That's who Joe Satriani is. But yeah, Kev, the finger work, I couldn't even believe how quick he was and just how crisp his notes sounded. There was no muddiness.
Yeah.
And in terms of mud, that's okay. I mean, Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin had a lot of muddy stuff.
Sure.
I mean, just play some of this mud right here from In the Evening from Led Zeppelin. Jimmy Page just really, really muddy.
And I think that's derivative of the blues because, there was Muddy Waters, one of the blues players. Blues has always been kind of muddy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Joe Satriani, just crisp and clean. I got to have him on it.
All right.
Innovative. What was the specifics again? I can't remember.
The most innovative, not the most influential, most innovative. So who took this instrument to a new height, to a new level?
Eddie Van Halen.
I was going to say right out of the box. Come on.
He was so innovative, Kev. I don't know if you remember this or not, but initially when he was doing it, I mean, I think Van Halen won their first 3 records. A lot of times he would just turn around during live performances. He didn't want other guitarists stealing his methods. Do you remember that?
I totally remember that.
There were 2 guys in history that used to turn around during performance. Jim Morrison from the Doors when he started because he was so shy.
Uh-huh.
And then Eddie Van Halen because he was so innovative. He didn't want other people jacking his stuff. I mean, it was unbelievable what he did. Eruption. Do you remember seeing him play Eruption though? And you're just oh, okay, we're in a different world now.
Yeah, that. And also, one of the best guitar solos ever is in Thriller.
Yeah.
He did Thriller with Michael Jackson.
And did you know that he didn't get paid a penny for it?
Really?
Yeah, because they weren't supposed to do side projects. He didn't even tell, David Lee and Mark Anthony and his brother what he was doing. He just popped into the studio because, Michael called, hey, Eddie, I got this great song and I need a riff. I need a riff. Shimon. Called him just like that. That was the exact conversation right there.
Exactly. Yeah, no, we have a recording.
And of course, Eddie Van Halen moonwalked straight to the studio and just absolutely riffed that. And he never, and Michael Jackson's, I think it was Quincy Jones, wasn't he, that produced the Thriller album?
Absolutely.
Quincy said, hey, Eddie, we got to get you paid. Let's talk about this. And he goes, no, it's got to be off the record because I'm not even supposed to be here.
Wow.
True story. I heard Eddie Van Halen say that's one of his biggest regrets is he never got a nickel from his Beat It riff, and it's one of the most recognizable riffs in history.
Yeah, I think he did okay for himself. You know, he's not really missing that Thriller money.
He never had to go to the soup kitchen,
Never.
Out of necessity. Now he may have been there to help out, but he never completely had to. and he's okay, and he took care of Valerie Bertinelli and his boy Wolfie. Yeah. So yeah, I got to have Eddie Van Halen on there. Now, in terms of innovative, oh yeah, Kev, because it's innovation, and rock and roll in itself was innovative. I mean, don't you have to have Chuck Berry?
Oh my gosh, man, you're going really obscure, kind of. But Chuck Berry was amazing, St. Louis boy. Yeah.
Don't you? I mean, don't you have to? I mean, he freaked the world out. Didn't Chuck Berry and Little Richard? Didn't they invent rock and roll?
Well, if you're familiar with the movie Back to the Future, when Michael J. Fox plays with the high school band, he's playing Chuck Berry.
Yes.
That's what he's playing.
And he freaked out the high school band.
Yeah.
And with his solo. And remember, he goes, you may not have liked that. It may have freaked you out, but your kids are going to love it.
That's right. Yeah. Chuck Berry's amazing. Have you ever seen, when he was alive, did you ever see him play in concert?
I never saw him play. Did you?
I saw him play in Columbia, Missouri. And I had a little inside track to get some behind the scenes stuff. So Chuck Berry, when he played live from city to city, he would go and he would ask the club owner where he was playing, hey, give me a drummer and give me a bassist that you know really well. He's like, what, you're not bringing a band? He goes, no, I play by myself, but I just recruit people in the area. So the club owner in Columbia, Missouri, gets a bassist and gets a drummer, and they meet with Chuck that day during sound check. And Chuck says, you guys don't have to worry about anything. Just follow me.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that crazy?
I love it.
Isn't that nuts, man?
Oh my God. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And just as a tangent, Kev, that whole, find me somebody locally.
Uh-huh.
I always thought if I was a professional golfer,
yeah,
I would go to every course and I would say, who's the current club champion? I want them to caddy for me this week. Because they know the course.
Absolutely.
More than anybody. They know all of the nuances. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely know what you're saying. It's something I never thought about.
And it has nothing to do with my, level 1 autism, inability to connect with people, and not wanting to caddy the same caddy over. It has nothing to do with that.
No, nothing at all. He just wants the inside edge. Yeah, I get it.
Kevin, you're so hip with music. I cannot wait to hear your top 3 innovative guitarists of all time.
Well, mine are kind of boring compared to yours. Van Halen was number 1 on my list.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Number 2 on my list, Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine.
No, that's a good one. That's not boring at all.
Yeah.
That's not, I mean, he freaked people out in the mid 90s.
I know.
He was really good. Because it was a very distinctive sound, very different, very fast, very angry.
Yeah.
He's like one of the first guitarists where it's like, oh, he's pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the whole band was.
Yeah, the whole band.
I don't know why they called it Rage Against the Machine.
The funny thing, though, real quick about Rage Against the Machine, Kev, is one of the funniest things I ever saw is they had their first tour after COVID.
Uh-huh.
And they were tweeting, demanding that everybody get the vaccine.
Ah!
And I tweeted back, and I go, are we changing Rage to now with the machine?
Now with.
Became the machine.
There you go. Became the machine.
We're exactly. I tweeted that to them. It got deleted. They didn't like that.
I can't imagine why that would have gotten deleted.
But and I was just like, gosh, what is it? What is their song with the "fu" at the end constantly? I can't even remember the name of the song.
Do you know the movie Love Actually?
Yes, I do.
So I bring that up because you're talking about the Rage Against the Machine song. You remember the Billy Mack Christmases? The song he's trying to get to make number 1.
Yes.
Over in the UK, they have a thing where whatever song is number 1 at the end of the year, that song gets to be played live by the artist in a concert. Okay. And
really?
So, yes. And so this whole storyline is about Rage Against the Machine, because Rage Against the Machine and the song that you're talking about,
Killing in the Name of.
that's it. That was the number one song in England for that particular year, and Rage Against the Machine came over and played a concert. They played that song ad nauseum on British radio and made that number one at the end of the year.
Oh my God, what did the Queen think?
I probably did not listen to it, but that's where that storyline comes from. And yeah, that's how progressive the radio folk over in the UK are. They actually played that all day long.
Wow, I did not know they did that. Okay, so they don't get as bent out of shape about language as the FCC then, huh?
Well, you can say the F word, you can't say bloody. Stupid.
Is that weird?
Remember when we were on with Christian O'Connell?
Yeah. Oh gosh, that was great. For those unaware, we used to have a rivalry with a London radio station back when Kevin and I were doing an alternative rock morning show. And they lost a bet or something like that. They actually won the bet, and we had to sing God Save the Queen on their airwaves in London. And Kev had a completely different version of it that the whole nation was angry at Tuttle and Kline. Do you remember that?
It's one of the highlights of my career, and I think of our career. I still know every word of that song, and I'll sing it to myself every once in a while.
That is can you give it to us real quick?
Yeah, sure. By the way, though, the bet that we lost was with the British Open, and Tim said no UK golfer will finish in the top 5, and I'll be damned if Ian Woosnam didn't.
Woozy did. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so we lost the bet. So we're on live in London. I mean, he put us on live.
Yep.
Their audience, and he was hyping it up for the whole day or something like that, saying we got these colonists, these Americans going to call in. They have to sing "God Save the Queen." It's going to be a great moment. So he was hyping it up. So all of London was just waiting for this moment, and we decided, okay, we're going to sing "God Save the Queen," but we're creative. We're Americans, we're rebellious, we're assholes, and we're a rock station, and we're Tuttle and Kline, and this is God Save the Queen.
Now, hang on a second, because before I get into this, so Tim calls me the night before, and he says, dude, you can't sing God Save the Queen. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, dude, you have got to change the lyrics. He says, you can't do this. He goes, we rebelled against them. You can't sing their national anthem. I said, okay. Up to the task. And so
that was awesome.
They did not know that this was coming. God save our gracious queen, although her teeth aren't clean. God save the queen. She was victorious in the World War II fuss. It was because of us we saved the queen. Oh, Sir McCartney, rise, your chick has just one thigh and just one knee. You fight in a straight line, wearing red all the time, a tactic not sublime, we laugh at thee. All of your football fans considered hooligans, throw bricks for glee. Your tourney Wimbledon, when was the last you won? Henman, your chosen son, no victory. And then we bring it home with this. You introduced Mad Cow, hoof and mouth for a bow. Our beef is rich. We left you years ago. We dominate, Last thought before we go. You are our bitch. That was sang on national radio in London.
In London, England.
Yeah.
And it's still to this day one of the most I remember reading back then they didn't have direct messaging. We had email, remember?
Yeah, we had email.
I remember reading so many angry British emails. They were so pissed at us.
God, they were.
But it was awesome. I mean, it got around in America what we did too, and we just had all kinds of patriots coming out and saying that was the freaking best shit we have ever heard on the radio.
Yep. And then
that was awesome.
They demanded equal time. Oh, we demand equal time, or you can't have your tea and crumpets.
Yeah. We're like, you can demand all you want.
So then they came on the next week and they played. They did our national anthem with a deedle deedle deedle.
Yeah.
It was dumb.
It was terrible.
Oh,
yeah. And I was like, hey, there's one thing, there's one thing you're never going to do. You're not going to out parody Kevin Kline. You're just not.
Thanks.
You're just not. You can bring in all your great writers from the BBC and you're still not going to beat what we just did to you. As a matter of fact, you're putting more attention on the ass kicking by continuing to drag this out.
Yep. Yeah, we destroyed them with that.
That was great.
My third is Jimi Hendrix. My third guitarist, innovative guitarist, Hendrix.
Man, I remember Kevin. He's another one that you just watch, and it's like, what made him ever decide to do it that way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. That's one of the reasons why I have him on there.
I mean, the national anthem at Woodstock. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And just some of his sounds. I mean, some of the things that he's doing. Just go. Fire and obviously Purple Haze and Foxy Lady. I mean, just those riffs right there, unbelievable.
Well, the When Christ Mary always gets me. I love that one. Love that one. It's so soulful with an electric guitar.
And the wind screams Mary.
And that's why I sang the national anthem.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Sometimes I forget we're like doing a podcast. I think we're just like talking. I'm sorry about that, everybody.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was good. I love that.
That was Tim's all-time dream job, was to be a lead singer in a rock band.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, and I had one shot at it. It was my roommate Kurt Friedholt. He was the guitarist for a band called Blitzen.
Great name.
In at Ball State, my sophomore or junior year. Lead singer graduated, wanted to go get a real job, so they needed, and they got gigs. Blitzen was getting gigs, and he said, Timmy, we're gonna give you a shot. We're gonna audition you, and as Led Zeppelin, "The Ocean" is what I had to sing.
Oh, easy song, right?
Yeah, exactly. I went with Robert Plant. What a dumbass!
I know.
Why didn't I go AC/DC Back in Black? I mean, come on, man.
Anything but
Back in Black. I mean, that's already better than Brian Johnson.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they've already hired Tuttle for the 2024 tour.
But I remember I made sure I knew the words, but I listened to it like 40 times in a row just to make sure I had every word down. And I get in there at the audition, and literally the first verse, the drummer stops. Greg Baradas, you son of a bitch, Baradas. He stops, and he goes, "Nah, it's not going to work. Just stop." And my roommate Kurt is like, "Well, let him finish at least, Greg." And Jeff Howerton, he was the bassist, is like, "Yeah, Timmy's got some other skills. He's got good stage presence. He can handle the crowd really good. I mean, he stalked the stage and everything like that. He'd be really good at it, Greg." And Greg's like, "It's my band. No."
Wow.
It was brutal, dude.
Damn, Greg. Have a heart.
I know, man.
You killed a guy's dream.
It was destroyed right there.
I think you got the last laugh.
I don't know.
He's pushing paper somewhere, and you were on the radio.
Yeah, I ended up having 1.5 million listeners, and he ended up with male pattern baldness.
There you go. Yeah, that'll teach you to say no.
Victory is mine. Hey, Kev, I want to share this with you.
Please.
If I could. Oh, by the way, before we do that, just want to thank our good friends at Air Innovations.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Air Innovations, taking care of Houstonians. We're in that zone right now. You got to make sure that your AC unit is ready for the war and battle it's going to fight for the next 6 to 7 months. I mean, we got a little taste of it last week, you know, in the 80s and everything like that. It's going to be in there again. It's going to be mid 80s, 90s before you know it. And your AC unit is still probably reeling a little bit from its, what they're calling in AC unit world, they're calling the War of 2023.
Yeah, I remember those. I remember those days, and it brings up to something that I read the other day. Tim, is that the South and Southwest will be hotter this year. It's projected to be hotter this year than it was last year.
You're kidding? It was record breaking heat.
Now,
last year.
Get ready for more records. What that means is get your AC serviced now.
Yeah, they're standing by. They got the technicians ready to do a preventative maintenance on it. It's very inexpensive to do a preventative maintenance just to make sure your AC unit is ready for the War of 2024.
And that's the official TV package.
War of 2024.
We're a fighting country.
Also, keep in mind, if you don't end up doing the preventative maintenance anytime during the summer, you have any issues whatsoever, just remember in your mind, Air Innovations, Air Innovations, Air Innovations. Why? Because, Kevin, they are available 24 hours a day. They have technicians that'll go there in the middle of the night to make sure you're up and ready when it's 105 degrees the next day, which you want. It's very dangerous here in Houston, so make sure you're smart about it. Air Innovations, taking care of Houstonians since 2005. Take care of the community. Thank you to Air Innovations for that. Kevin Kline?
Yes, sir.
I did something last week that I almost didn't do it, but it's one of those things where it's like you almost just completely abandon it and you're glad afterwards that you didn't because it worked out.
I can't wait to hear what you did.
It was 10 p.m. on Wednesday evening. And, you know, to settle down, yeah, I'll get on my phone, hop on Facebook, and I never look at these, you know, the suggested friends thing. So they suggest friends.
Yes.
I came across this lady who I don't know whatsoever. I don't know anything about her whatsoever. Never heard of her. Not even sure why she's on my friends thing.
Yeah.
And I just kind of stopped. Now I sent you a few pictures of her.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
You see her. Very, very lovely lady. So obviously the attractiveness is there.
Right.
But I just had this feeling. I mean, Kev, we're in Texas. Attractive women, dime a dozen. I mean, but there was something about her that just made me like throw a DM together. And I just don't do this stuff. So I DM'd her. I basically said, hey, I swear I never do this, but you came up on my friends roll. And I just have this feeling about you, like a vibe, like I should get to know you. So I decided to press the button after typing this. I said, if you're in a relationship, I was very, very cool about it. I said, if you are in a relationship, I apologize. I salute to whoever has your heart, and I'll move down the road. If you aren't, I'm interested in getting to know you.
Okay.
Well, she replied.
She did.
Yeah, she replied and was very, very cool about, you know, how I went about it and everything like that. But by the way, you know, just sending that DM right there. My son Jonas, when I had lunch with him yesterday, I told him about it. He said, Dad, you got so much Riz, it's unbelievable.
Riz.
So I went along with it. I was like, oh, yes, son, I am Riz guy.
You know what Riz is, right?
Well, I had to look it up later.
It's short for charisma.
That's right. The ability to charm.
Yes.
Yeah. You knew that right away?
I did. Yeah. Because it was the 2023 word of the year.
Shit, man. I did not get that email.
Yeah. I only remember because I was outraged. It's not even a word.
I don't remember the award ceremony where RIZZ got up from the audience and went up to the podium and said, thank you very much. I don't remember.
Thank you for recognizing my Riz.
But anyway, he said, Dad, that's serious Riz what you did there. I mean, that is wow. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, so she responded, and you know, we had a lot of texts back and forth and everything like that. You know, I guess it's a big deal when you switch from, you know, the DM on Facebook and exchange numbers and start texting.
Sure.
Now, I haven't heard from her in a while. Maybe I shouldn't have told her I loved her after only 3 days. and we still have not met in person yet. I mean,
Oh, you haven't met yet?
I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking about that. We met on Saturday, and she is awesome.
Oh, cool.
She's awesome. I mean, let me, Kev.
Yeah.
And let me tell you the coolness of this. She's very intelligent. She's an entrepreneur. She has her own business. Actually, she has two different businesses, and she's really smart. And we text a lot. And one of the things I do is I text, those getting to know you questions. Being in radio, we interview people all the time, and I'm, that guy.
Right.
So yeah, I texted her. I asked her, hey, if you could be any animal for one day, what would it be? And then in the same text, I said, also, what would your warning label say?
That's so loaded.
Yeah. Yeah. So she replied, and I have it right here. She says, dolphins are smart. They get high for fun and have sex for fun.
Okay.
Definitely the animal lifestyle. And then she said, and as far as the warning label, that'd probably have to state that there's a 90% chance that I'm going to forget whatever has been said. My memory is shit.
Wow.
Is what she said. And I replied when she sent that text, I said, well, I hope you never forget that time you told me you wish we were both dolphins.
What was their reply on that one?
She laughed.
Yeah, of course.
Because, hey, Kev, and that's a good response just because I'm in the whole stand-up comedy writing mode.
Uh-huh.
Everything that I look at right now is I'm trying to like write comedy lines.
Sure. I get that.
And because I'm in that zone right now of I'm trying to, put together punchlines. I'm basically trying to punchline everything.
If you're not in that zone 24/7, then you're not really practicing. You're not creating. And the brain is a muscle, and the more you work it out, the more creative it gets.
Right. So
I don't blame you for doing that at all.
And another example of this, and I got to tell you this, is that I've told you this, that I do cardio every day. I got to lean out just a little bit. I'm going to be shooting a TV show. I'm hosting a TV show beginning in April. So probably about 6 weeks from now. So I got to get in, good TV shape.
Right.
And I'm doing my fast cardio. It's a fast walk. So I come upon people and groups of people all the time from behind them. And there were two ladies, probably mid-20s, late 20s, that were walking together. And I guess I was really ninja, because when I came upon them, they freaked out, like frightened. It was just before dark hit. It was at dusk.
Okay.
So they were freaked out. And I immediately wanted to calm them and, let them know everything was going to be okay. So I said to them, hey, look, I'm not a serial killer. I'm not a murderer. I'm not here to kill you. And then they got, and and then they got to look at me, and I was, sweat dripping, shirt off kind of thing. And I'm looking okay, even for an older guy. And they looked at each other and then looked at me and said, well, if you do kill us, can you rape us first?
No.
I swear they said that, and they were laughing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So me being in stand-up comedy writing mode, I immediately said, well, too bad. I'm going to kill you and then have sex with your corpse.
Wow. A very uplifting conversation you had right out of the gate.
Yeah. I actually didn't say that to them because I didn't want police called.
Yeah. Right.
I let them get that whole line in and let it go. But, as a stand-up comedian mind that I have right now, I'm just thinking of the line.
No, it's one of my favorite things to do. I call it Timrophilia.
I got a tag here. I'm just going to stand here on the street corner and just rattle off a 5-minute chunk. Just stay right there, ladies. I know it's getting dark. And I'm 6'2", 205, and you're too petite, but everything's going to be okay.
Have you had this situation come up before where you're passing people and you're startling them?
Yes, all the time.
Oh, can I help you out with that?
You want me to put a bell on my neck?
No.
Okay.
All you have to do is, as you're approaching them, just say speed walker on the left or runner on the left. That's it.
Oh.
And then when you get up past them, just say didn't want to startle you, and then just go on.
Okay. See,
always pass on the left and always say speedrunner, speed walker, runner.
And that's what I did. I passed on the left.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't know that. That's an etiquette thing. I mean, Kevin Kline, for those unaware, runs like 90 miles a week, 120 miles a week or whatever. So this happens with you all the time.
All the time.
And you're supposed to just let them know that you're there.
Yep.
So you don't scare them, or so they don't like do a quick mace move on you, because that would be the worst.
That would ruin a run.
Because, hey, let's face it, everybody these days are watching true crime on Netflix and true crime stuff, and everybody's freaked out a little bit.
Or hell, you're in Texas. Concealed,
that would suck.
Yes.
Oh my God, that would suck. I'm just trying to get, the calories off, just trying to bust out a sweat, and somebody like fills me up with 3 in the midsection, and I'm like, hey, I got kids.
Yeah.
Oh, this sucks. I swear I wasn't going to kill you.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. You're hot. Can you rape me?
Jeez. What a world. What a world.
What's wrong with me, Kev?
No, it's not you. If they said that, wow.
Everything's got to be comedy.
Yeah. Well,
what's wrong with me, Kevin Kline?
I give New Girl 3 months.
Oh, Kev, I am really this is one that I kind of want to hang with.
Okay.
Like, this is one that I'm seeing could go like a long distance.
Wow.
Yeah, have you ever, obviously you've been with the same woman for 30 years, but like where everything lines up, you guys have like so much in common. It's unbelievable. Like Kev, she loves Pink Floyd.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
She loves Pink Floyd. She is very smart, very quick-witted, very heady.
Athletic.
As you can see from the pictures, very athletic.
Yeah. It's the gym. You guys could hit the gym together.
Yeah. Just a yoga guru type thing. She is like amazing. So the healthy lifestyle, both don't drink hardly. And when we do, it's maybe a little Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay.
Here and there. So, there's so many parallelisms. I was like, okay, it was like I was supposed to be the guy with Riz and make that DM.
Well, I always say there's really no coincidence. Things happen for a reason.
Do you really believe that?
Yeah, I do, actually.
I believe everything is a puzzle, and everything is supposed to happen the way it is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Even the most hardcore pain that you feel is supposed to happen to either test you, make you stronger for another challenge that's coming up or something like that. I believe in the same thing you do. Nothing to me, it's not random.
It can't be. It can't be. It's just there's too many signs that lead you to believe that this was meant to be. And what you're talking about with the tragedies, I had my friend Joe Martinez, who's the UFC cage announcer. He's very spiritual, and I asked him. I said, "Well, okay, then why does tragedy happen if God is so loving?" And he said, "Then how else would you be able to appreciate the other stuff that happens if you don't experience hardcore pain or tragedy every once in a while?"
I was just telling Audrey that, and she had made a post. Audrey has a new podcast.
I know. I listened to it. I want to talk about that.
That's okay.
Good. She's good, man.
Yeah, she is so. Can you believe the poise for 22 years old?
Yeah.
Just amazing. Kev, I've told you this for a long time. My kids will far outdo anything that I have ever done, I've had a successful life.
As a parent, that's what you hope, though.
Yeah.
I want you to be better than what I was.
And they are much better, like up and down, like from Audrey down to Timmy. Just these 4 kids will kill whatever I've done.
Well, that's why I said when you posted that you were getting a creative itch, I said you should do a morning show with your daughter. She's the most talented Tuttle.
She has the talent. Yeah, that's what spurred. That's funny. But yeah, she's like squeaky clean, sweet, nice, and yeah. If we were on your shoulders, she would be the good one going, "Oh, be nice, be cool, everything's fine, do the right thing," and I'd be like, Get her. Get him. Ah, it's fun. Feels good. You know?
But therein would lie the show, right in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, I told her that last week in a post. I said, how can you ever truly celebrate your victories if you've never had defeat?
So true.
It makes it so much sweeter. I mean, and Kevin Kline, the best example that we have after Michael Jordan won his first NBA championship in 1991, after 7 years in the NBA, and they were just saying, hey, you're just a circus act, somebody that can dunk and score a lot of points. You'll never win a title. And when he won it, he's on the floor crying and holding the trophy, and his dad is consoling him. I mean, that right there is the display of you lose so much, and then when you do finally have a victory, it's sweet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
It made me wonder why Tom Brady was so good, because he's so used to winning. It's nothing to him. And Mahomes is getting in that zone right now too. Right. I mean, do they appreciate the victory as much after that much success? You know what I'm saying?
I think they do appreciate it. And I think they have a different way of appreciating it. Hey, I'm one more step closer to my goal. I'm one more step closer to my goal. I think that's where the appreciation comes from. I don't think the appreciation anymore comes from the fact that they're winning titles. It's I'm one step closer to my goal.
Okay, so, I get that. I get that. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, that's nothing. Yeah, nothing is completely random in that way. And I thought I was one of the few that think that like everything is happening for a reason. Like it's like God has a script.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks down every so often and looks at all of his 7.7 billion people he has in his little play and just make sure everybody's staying on script. And, he'll intervene if you're not on script.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, of course.
It's like, he'll say, wait a minute. For Kevin Kline, he doesn't have enough pain yet. He's going too high. He's doing too well. Let's knock him down a little bit so he appreciates it when down the road where we have in the script where he's victorious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I've also looked at it like I'm experiencing this pain because somewhere down the road, I'm going to experience something really, really good. And I've got to be able to appreciate it even more.
Yeah.
So it's kind of what I've always gone through.
And it's another reason why I really believe in karma, equal deposits, equal withdrawals. I believe in that. Like the Beatles, the love you take is equal to the love you make.
Uh-huh.
I believe that if you do screwed up things and mess with people, that eventually down the road, the universe gets you.
Yes.
And you actually want it during this lifetime. You want it to be evened out because you don't want to take a negative balance into the next life. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Because that's how you come back as a dung beetle, or that's how you get buggered by Hitler in hell for eternity. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly what you're saying.
You want to have a positive balance in that thing, and I've admittedly done some things in my life where I was in a negative balance for a while. But boy, I'm glad that it evened out. The universe and God are just like, well, you're going to pay for that, Tim. And he made me pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, think about your life do I have a negative karma balance? Do I have a positive karma balance? If you have a negative balance, you need maybe to do some things to get positive, get back in the black on the ledger, because you don't want to take that into the next world.
How would AC/DC describe that right there?
Back in black.
Yes.
Hit the sack. It sounds good to me.
Sounds great.
In my earbuds, Kev, it sounds like Brian Johnson.
Yeah. Earbuds might need to be replaced.
Well,
you're a jerk. That's negative karma right there.
Yeah. You got some paying to do, Kevin Kline. Speaking of which, hey Kev, another one of our really good people who have our back is Chris. He's the owner of Home Video Rescue. Mm-hmm. And he absolutely loved what we did last week. He really enjoyed it. The fact that we're getting the word out about people who have very precious and priceless belongings in their closet, in their garage, somewhere, and that is a decaying asset that needs to be addressed as soon as it possibly can.
I wish this service that Chris provides would have been around in 1992. And I say that because when I worked in college radio in the 90s, we recorded on VHS. All right. Well, in 1992, one of my roommates decided, oh, I need to record this program. So he just popped in my first ever air shift and recorded over it on a VHS tape. I'll never have that back. Okay. And if Chris's service would have been around and I would have known about Chris in 1992, that all could have been avoided because you can't overwrite digital.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And I couldn't confront him because he was a professional bodybuilder at the time. And now he's serving a life sentence for murder. He's just up the road from you, Tim, in Huntsville.
Is he really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's
right.
Never getting out.
Wow. Okay. So you let it slide on that one. Yeah. That's funny. You should say that, Kev, because we had on home video on tape Audrey's birth when she was born in 2001.
Uh-huh.
I did a lot of filming, not inappropriate stuff, didn't flash to the wrong things, but short time after that, her mom taped over that.
Yeah.
And it was gone. I mean, Audrey's birth was. So you're right. I mean, basically, Chris and Home Video Rescue can handle all of the different mediums that are, basically decaying and wilting in your closet, including VHS, Beta, 8mm, a bunch of different ones. As a matter of fact, we have in our description the website link if you want to check out all the details on how you can turn your precious memories into something permanent, turn it into digital before it withers away to nothing. I mean, the clock is running.
Mm-hmm.
You got all that stuff. You got the time you did the tightrope thing when you were 7 years old from roof to roof in the neighborhood, and you fell down about 15 feet, and it's on VHS, and you've always wanted to show your friends that moment, but you can't because nobody has a VHS anymore, and this is your opportunity to do it. Home Video Rescue, they'll take good care of you. Also, good friends of the Tuttle and Kline podcast.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you very much, Chris. Kev, I sent you that last week, and I definitely want your perspective on it.
Okay.
Because you always have interesting takes. Steve Harvey did an interview. The comedian Steve Harvey, game show host. He did an interview, and the interviewer basically asked if he has any female friends.
All of my friends are men. I don't have female friends. I don't. I'm incapable of that.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, because come on.
Because you have a wife.
Well, I have a wife, and I don't really have female friends because look. Okay, let's get rid of this myth right here. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. Let's get rid of this right here. You're an attractive woman. There's some guy somewhere saying, "Yeah, we're friends." No, that's not true. He's your friend only because you have made it absolutely clear that nothing else is happening except this friendship we have. We remain your friends in hopes that one day there'll be a crack in the door, a chink in the armor, and trust and believe that guy that you think is just your buddy, he will slide in that crack the moment he gets the opportunity. Because we're
most
guys.
Men think this way?
99.9% of us think that way.
Kev, I believe you probably have the opposite viewpoint.
I do. The majority of my friends have always been women.
Yes.
Yeah. I married my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And when Trish and I when we met, honestly, and people don't really believe this, we were friends before, we were solid friends before anything. And why I proposed to her was because I had gotten a job transfer and I was due to leave for Denver, Colorado in 3 days. And as the third day got closer, I'm like, man, I can't leave without my friend. We were not romantic then. I'm like, wow. I can't leave without my friend.
Hold on a second. So you got a gig and she's working
in Springfield at the radio station in Springfield.
Okay, I did not even know this.
Yeah.
So you guys had never been dating or anything physical or anything like that?
Nope. Nothing. Yeah. And I'm like, I can't leave without my friend. And she was raised staunch Catholic. You're not living with a guy unless you're engaged, married, that kind of stuff. And I just said, if I feel this way, I can't. I just got to propose. And so I did.
Wow. You propose. I didn't know this either. You had never been with her intimately.
Nope.
And you proposed to her.
Yeah.
That's
how.
Hold on a second. I just got to tag you. That's a lot of riz.
Well, it's really not though, because, and I think this is why we've lasted 30 years, because we went in with no romantic expectations. You know, we weren't trying to impress each other. We were just ourselves. And I just knew that was what I needed in my life.
In all honesty and thinking about it, that's probably the best way to do it if you want a long lasting relationship.
I'm
thinking about my last 4. I've basically been in 4 like serious relationships in the last 30 years of my life.
Okay.
Number 1, we messed around the very first time I met her.
Okay.
Second one, messing around at work. Third one, about third date.
Okay.
And fourth one, about the first time I saw her in person.
Wow. Okay.
So that
is some riz.
Hold on a second. So you may have something there, sir.
It worked for me.
And this one that I got going on right now, you know, I'm gonna slow walk this thing.
Okay.
I'm like even if she's
fourth
like
date.
Kev, you know what I may end up doing is just like complete. Oh no, I don't want to. You know, even when if she's like all over me, be like, nah, can't do it.
You got to be yourself. That's not you. You got to be yourself. You know, and that's what I'm getting at is.
But if I'm myself, I've already blown it.
Maybe not.
Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe not.
We both are very similarly thinking. So
there you go.
But Kev, I mean, and I guess
and going back to what we said, those previous 4 relationships, that's what you had to go through to find maybe this one.
True.
To go to go the distance.
Exactly. The learning about myself
in
the aftermath, you know, of failed relationships. It's like, you know, and I've done that with the meditating. It's just like, what did I do wrong there? And I went through it and I was like, okay, you can't do that again. I mean, I literally have a checklist in my head. We're not going to do that again. We're not going to do that again. We're going to maybe go that direction if something comes up in the future. And I'm definitely never going to do that again. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah.
Well, I have you know, it's not a written down list, but a list in my head of shit that I'm never going to do again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, when I heard Steve Harvey, I was like, well, he's totally right. You know,
well, you had a saying growing up. I don't know if you want to share that saying, but
I was, you know, when I was a teenager and, you know, early 20s, I mean, there were 2 types of women. Women I wanted to have sex with and women I didn't talk to. And I'm not proud of that. And I've come a long way since then.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'll talk to a couple others, you know, customer service, cashiers. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You can't, Kev, it is impossible as an evolving human to maintain that kind of viewpoint, anything past teens and early 20s. You cannot maintain that.
No. It's always been funny when I heard you say that though.
Yeah. Because, you know, we have social media now and everybody can talk to everybody going, he is a total dick. You know? So yeah.
It gets around. Even faster now.
But you know, I think to a point, to a certain degree, I don't know if it's 99.9%, but it's up there in a majority. I don't know, 75, maybe 80%. Where if you're an attractive woman and you think you have a guy friend, I mean, he is waiting. He is like, hey man, I'm cool being your friend, but if you know you get dumped and you need a shoulder to cry on, my pants are going to my ankles too. That's how a lot of guys think.
A lot, not all. I do not think that. In fact, like I said, the majority of my friends are women, and my concert buddies are all women, except now Jeff is one of my top concert buddies. So I guess I got to throw Jeff in there, and he's not a woman. But yeah, and if my wife doesn't want to go to a concert with me, she doesn't like the band, she'll be like, "Hey, call Morgan. Hey, call Mary. See if they'll go with you."
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, yeah, yep. And so
she's a saint.
She's amazing, dude.
She is a great woman, Kev.
Thanks, man.
If you got somebody like Kevin's wife that has your back, I mean, she's working hard to cover you and take care of you, and that's amazing. A salute to you. Which leads us to a big question that I have, Kev.
Uh-huh.
For those unaware, Kevin Kline last week professed his love to his lady, saying he wouldn't even take a Playboy playmate over her.
Yep, that's what I said. I said, as beautiful as Karen McDougall, Playmate of the Year, is, that's how beautiful my wife is on the inside and how much I love her, and I'm not going anywhere because I can't breathe without her. Which, by the way, you said it should be a song. I remember it wasn't Billy Ocean, I Can Dream About You. I can dream about you.
Yes.
Okay, well, I can't breathe without you.
Yeah. You're already writing a parody song?
No, I just, that came to mind while I was thinking about this.
Wait a minute. Is that Billy Ocean?
It might not be. I don't know.
I don't know if that's Billy Ocean. I remember that from some soundtrack. Eddie and the Cruisers. It's from that soundtrack.
Okay.
You know the song where they go, "On the Dark Side."
Oh, yeah. John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band.
That's it. John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. And I Can Dream About You is another song on that soundtrack.
Okay.
It was
impeccable memory
by a black band in the movie.
Okay. I don't remember who did it. I thought it might have been Billy, but probably not.
Yeah. So, I thought that, and everybody thought, I mean, Kev, I have a bunch of people that have DM'd me and told me in person that they thought that was a precious moment, that you declared your love for Trish in that way. But she didn't give you the reaction you thought you were going to get?
No, she did not. We're sitting there on the couch and we're watching the episode, and I can't wait for her to hear this. You know, I say it to her every once in a while, but I'm professing it to Timmy T
and thousands and thousands of podcast listeners.
After we get done watching the entire episode, I look at her and I'm like, "What'd you think?" She goes, "How come you didn't tell me you got a message from a Playboy playmate?" I'm like, "That's what you got out of it. I described how much I love you, and that's what you come away with?" I'm like, number one, I'll tell you why I didn't tell you. Because I didn't think it was a big deal, because I figured like 99% of my celebrity requests, they're thinking that it's my uncle. Why would I even concern you with that? And number two, where am I going to meet her? I'm not going anywhere. Where am I going to meet her? She's like, "Well, you always just tell me stuff."
Kev basically is in the middle of nowhere. He lives in Kev, you would be a great place for, somebody to hide if they were running from the law.
Exactly. Yeah.
If I was ever a fugitive, I'm going to Kevin Kline's place.
There you go. Yeah.
In the middle of
nowhere.
Trust me, a Playboy playmate is not. Well, I'm just going to meet you over by that tree over there.
Yeah, you see that Fox TV show, Farmer Wants a Wife? Yeah. Well, that's suburban compared to where we are.
Kev, even from prison, Ted Kaczynski's like, "Hey, that's a great place to live, man."
That's right.
The Unabomber's going, "Yeah, that's where I should have done that, Kev."
Exactly.
They never would have found me.
But can you believe that? That's what she took away from that.
Yeah, I know. You gave her a soft moment and she shoved it right down your throat.
But it's the same woman who says, "Hey, call Morgan. She's 26. Take her to a concert."
She says she's 26?
Well, when Morgan and I were going to concerts when we were living in Houston, yeah, Morgan will be 30 later on this year in October.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, she's here. I'll call Morgan for you. I'll call Mary for you.
Oh my God.
So that's either how much she trusts me or hates my music.
Or just think, He is such a geek and nerd. He has no shot whatsoever.
Exactly. Well, that's probably it too.
I mean, she would probably like dig on him or something, and he's so clueless he would have no idea what's going on.
Nothing.
He would, hey, let's go get some nachos. And she's like kissing Kevin's neck. Hey, let's go get some nachos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you ever find out what Karen McDougall, the Playboy Playmate from 1998, I think it was, did you ever find out what she wanted?
No, I have not found out what she wanted, but I do know that she checked out my LinkedIn profile after she sent me the message.
Well, did she want to connect?
Well, we did connect.
So you're now friends.
Yeah. We connected on LinkedIn. I don't think that means we're friends. I think it just means that, if she has a business need for maybe a voiceover or something like that, which I can't imagine she wouldn't come to me.
Yeah. You have to do this.
Yes, please.
Yes. You got to send her a DM.
Okay.
And say, I swear I never do this, but I have this feeling about you, a vibe like we should know each other. You should totally do that.
Okay. All right. I will.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
Thank you very much again. You have been pivotal in me developing my stand-up comedy act. I'm confident now that I have 5 good minutes, a tight 5, where I can begin to go on stage, and I'm looking to do it for sure this week.
Are you going to bring the new girl?
Oh no, even I talked about it, like asked about it when we hung out on Saturday, and I said, not initially.
Oh, really?
The last thing I wanted, I think one of the reasons why I had some issues back in 2019 is because my then girlfriend Laura was with me on.
Okay.
Like so, sometimes you just got to go handle some things alone initially. But she brought that up. She goes, "Oh, I gotta come in. I gotta watch that." Yeah. And I'm like, well, let me make sure that I have good material first. The last thing I want to do is take a dump on stage in front of the woman who I'm talking to and just starting something out with. You know what I'm saying?
It's always good to have a friendly face in the crowd, though, bro.
I know, but I would probably have Audrey and Jonas there before her at this point.
Okay.
Because the last thing I'd want to do is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Okay.
I love the fact that she's already thinking that way. Like, I'm going, let's go.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, so she's thinking, hey, we're vibing too, obviously, right?
Right.
So I think that's cool. But I have the tight 5. I actually sent you what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And
about it.
I do like the way that you have constructed it. I haven't read it all. I just saw that you had constructed it a little differently than what we had talked about. And I think that you've got it right. Your reason for starting with Percy is absolutely right.
Yeah. Like when you go to do open mics or anytime you're doing a comedy situation where they specifically aren't paying to see you. I mean, if they're paying to see Tim Tuttle, then I can finish with my best stuff.
Right.
But when you're in one of these situations and you're at war, you've got to make sure in the first 20 seconds you get a laugh. Otherwise, you're dead for the other 440. You know what I'm saying? You're dead.
Yeah. And plus your going outline of the entire thing, trolling for unis. That's like if it's not 1A, it's 1B. So yeah. So you've got a great bokeend there.
Okay, so that looks solid, and I've cut out some stuff, and
I know you leaned it.
I leaned it out just so Kev, I'm trying to every 15 seconds get a laugh, 20 maximum. There's a couple setups that take me a little longer, but every 15 to 20, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Now, because I was working on that vigilantly last week, I haven't really written a new chunk.
Okay.
I've got some outline stuff, and I want to run past you if I could.
Yeah. But like you said in your email to me, you want to make sure you know this material like the back of your hand. So you really don't need to be working on new material. You need to be honing this and making sure that it's committed to memory.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that's what you're doing.
And not like a thing. I made a mistake the very first time I ever went up. I tried to deliver memorized material.
Yeah, no,
No. Whereas all I need to know are my punchlines, and then I craft the setups, just riff them, freestyle.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do that. I'm going to work hard on that. And, today, tomorrow, and I'm probably going to go up on Wednesday. And yes, I'll record it.
Sweet.
And let you all listen.
Hey, let me ask you this. When you go do an open mic at like Rudyard's, like you said you were going to do, typically what's the size of the crowd? Or does it completely vary?
It varies. Like one time, the first time I was there was like 15.
That's pretty good.
The second time I was there was like 30.
Wow. Okay.
And then, there was another place. I can't remember it. It was that's the Monday night place. There was a Tuesday night place that I went to that had like 75 people.
Oh, wow. That's a crowd.
Yeah. So those are the two places that I've done multiple times.
Are they all comedians waiting to get up on stage? Because that's even more daunting because comedians are jaded, man.
I would say maybe 1 out of 5 you could even categorize as anything close to being a comedian.
Okay, but they're waiting to get up on stage. They're trying their hand.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. There's each night there's probably about 15 to 20 that are waiting for their 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So, and you saying maybe 1 in 5 might be able to consider them or call themselves a comedian. Well, they're going to be even more jaded because they think they know, but they don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
so that's a tough crowd, man. That's a tough crowd.
Yeah. But you'll know. And I record, I wish I had the recording of the stuff that I'd done before. I did record all of my sets before.
Okay.
Because I was analyzing immediately, what hit and what didn't hit. I mean, I went through it scientifically, what hit every single joke.
But you recorded it on VHS, you put it in the player, and it automatically broke. And now you really wish you would have known, Chris.
Dang it. Home video rescue. I should have had you then. But I have some concepts. Do we have time? I mean, I got a couple concepts.
We're rocking, man. We're good.
Okay. And I just want your vibe and feel on them. Here's one is, there's an African guy that I lift with, that I work out with. He's always there.
Okay.
And, we talk every so often about kids and everything like that.
You spot each other?
No, but you know what? Cause I've had personal trainers when I was at Equinox, and I have a lot of great programs, and he's a little rudimentary with his stuff, and I'll show him new exercises and tell him about form and everything like that.
Cool.
So I've helped him in that way. And then he's helped me get a perspective on America.
Okay.
Because he said to me last week, he goes, you Americans, you're afraid of clowns and high bridges and commitment, He goes, I used to have to run from lions and tigers and shit.
Did he really? Okay. So oh, wow.
Yeah. He laughs when he sees and hears about our phobias, like with clowns.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You're not a big fan.
And and I'm not the hugest fan. And, he's like, when I was in Africa, I almost got killed 3 times a week. No bullshit to me. 3 times a week. You get killed. I mean, you would just be walking down and there you would see in the brush would move. And you just know, hey, this could be it.
Nope, I'm moving.
Yeah. And it's so funny because the next day, I mean, it all sealed up and I'm like, he is so right, because a spider crawled out from under my couch, a big, nasty, hairy one. And it caused me to make the weirdest noise that I have ever made. I mean, Kev, I'm embarrassed to do it, but I have to let you know the noise that I made.
I've heard
that noise.
I've heard you make that noise before, but never in a startled. It was always as a mocking kind of noise.
Yeah. And as soon as I did that, I thought of my African friend. His name's Oscar. I thought of Oscar. I was like, oh my God, he is so right. I mean, here I am. I lift a lot, but they're just show muscles. That's all they are. I'm soft and I'm weak. I just literally made that noise with a spider that is no threat to me at all.
None.
Yeah. And I'm also thinking to myself, my ancestors, they're turning in their graves.
Of course they are.
They are. I mean, Aaron Burr, I'm a direct descendant of him. He was like in 10 duels.
Yeah.
He was like in duels where they're shooting at you,
Uh-huh.
And he killed Alexander Hamilton, he's in duels. And, Tuttles, I got Tuttles that are war heroes. I mean, all throughout history. My brother Todd, Black Hawk helicopter pilot. He did tours, and he's a hero, and he's phenomenal. And, I've had like farmers of 300 acres, in the ancestry, of course, until they fucked up and bet the farm.
That's right. And lost.
Thinking Joe Louis is going to get his butt kicked. Anyway, that's another story. You know that story. And I'm like, literally, I look at my tree, and my sister's done a great job checking the genealogy out. I mean, there's alpha males everywhere. And I hear a noise. I see a spider, and I make a noise like,
it's kind of a cross between Michael Jackson and mocking Kline.
It's terrible. But anyway, I haven't developed specific setups and punches for that, but that's a chunk I want to put together.
Yeah. Oh, there's definitely some bones there to work with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And one other thing, and then we'll be done with the stand-up this week that I kind of want to throw past you. And again, it's very rudimentary. It's just an idea. You've seen those pictures of presidents when they take office for the first time at their inauguration, and then their last day as president.
Oh, yeah.
And the years put on. I mean, Obama, all of them, just completely gray. They have bags, like they have like sacks, potato sacks underneath their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah, yeah.
And I'm just thinking, those guys, they need to have more fun. Presidents need to do stuff. Like just show up at random places and freak people out.
Okay.
Yeah, like
for example.
Like if you're minding your own business, you're in the farmer's market, you're buying some local honey, and then the president just shows up and goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And just to freak out everybody in the farmer's market,
Uh-huh.
And just, hey, just clown around and have a good time and, put on a show and whatever, and then just get in his little Air Force One helicopter and bail.
Air Force One is the plane. Marine One would be the helicopter.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine?
Kline, you're red penning me? What a dick.
Thank you for the red pen, Kev. No, what we want on this podcast is 100% accuracy. We want everything to be 100% accurate.
We've always been about that.
Yeah. Or Kev, you're taking your kids to laser tag.
Uh-huh.
And so the president shows up and is laser tagging with you and your family.
At 81 years old, you really want your leader?
Kev, I'm talking about real presidents.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking ones that are actually elected. I'm sorry.
Great. There goes our listenership.
Oh, shoot. God dang it. God dang it, Kev. You dragged me in. You set me up.
I set him up.
You set me up. No, but I think that'd just be funny as hell. Is just like a president starts shooting at you, laser tag, and having fun with your family. And
how many times have you and I, after a president gets out of office, we love their personality after they get out of office?
Absolutely.
It's like, if you could just act that way in
while
office while you're president. Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't it be cool? Like a sitting president, Kev, you're at your 28th Cannibal Corpse show and you're getting into it, and suddenly you look over and the president's like bobbing his head up and down with you.
Exactly. That'd be awesome.
And then just for like 5 minutes, then he gets in his little helicopter and he bails.
Yeah.
I think the president should do crap like that more often.
Well, I mean, look at what Clinton did. He used to go into McDonald's and order McDonald's all the time. That always made news. Always made news.
And everybody loved Bill Clinton before they found out what he really is. But when he was a president, they loved him. Even a lot of Republicans are like, "Oh, he's a cool guy."
Huh. He was a great orator.
Kev,
I know.
We're not going to go into the Epstein Island stuff, okay?
I knew it.
Stop it. Stop it. Don't drag me into your hell.
I won't.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as a concept, developing that whole idea as a chunk.
I would do this. If you're going to develop that as a chunk, think of like 2 places where it would be kind of weird to see the president, but not completely abnormal. Like it possibly could happen. And then the third one's just got to be like totally random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right.
Like the third place.
Yeah.
They came over to the Little League field, saw him in the movie theater, and then saw him at the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And he said, "It's all on me," and pulled out his credit card. I got to write that one down.
There you go.
I love it. Okay. All right. So I'm glad I got that down. I'm excited about exercising the tight five and seeing where I'm at. So that's good stuff. Anything else happening, Kevin Kline?
Well, I am curious about something that you sent in the show prep thing. Your two youngest are breaking mom's heart, Timmy and Dal.
Yeah. Timmy and Dallas, my two half Mexican children, could be breaking their mom's heart. Obviously, with me being whiter than white. I mean, look at my ancestry right here, Kev.
Yeah. Not a lot of color.
Have you ever seen a more white human being before in your life?
Nope.
But anyway, their mom's Mexican, so they're half Mexican. And I passed by a Mexican restaurant on the way to dropping them off at home. It's one that's right down the street from where they live. And I asked the boys, well, how is that place? Is that place any good? And Timmy and Dal, they go, no, we don't like it. We don't like it. I was like, wait a minute, you two are half Mexican. That's the only Mexican place. And Timmy goes, well, I think that place is for full Mexicans.
Well, there's his addition to your comedy routine right there.
Is that another? Do I have another?
Oh my
Timmy?
God! Yes, that's gold.
and Kev, Dallas, his real legal first name is Dallas Cowboys. He has a favorite football team, and he wants their jerseys, and he loves our logo because it's the same color. He is a Miami Dolphins fan. A Dolphins fan. He hates the Cowboys.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
His mama named him Dallas Cowboys for a reason.
Yeah, her favorite. Unbelievable.
So, yeah.
Well, I used to love the Miami Dolphins because of their colors, too. It was the first bathrobe I ever wore. It was the Miami Dolphins.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I got it for Christmas one year.
I'll tell you this. I loved watching Marino. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, he was the best, at passing I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was fun.
I know he was only at one Super Bowl and he lost his second year, but that guy right there, Dan Marino, was physically the greatest quarterback. Unbelievable release, so accurate, it's unbelievable. I mean, if he had any kind of defense, he would have won multiple Super Bowls because he put up the numbers.
Yeah. Well, they had a running back in Larry Zonka. I mean, they went 17-0.
17-0 back in 73.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Dan Marino at the time was in third grade at that time. So
yeah, right. Yeah.
We're not going to mix the eras up.
No. See, he's great on years. I suck. Yeah. And the reason why is because it involves numbers.
Right.
He was numbers.
Yeah. And I'm just, Kev, I don't want to be critical, but Dan Marino was a seventh grader at a Pittsburgh elementary school at that time.
Okay. But he did have Mark Clayton and Mark Duper. They were on his team.
Yes. They were phenomenal. Yeah, you do remember that. And I cannot remember their go-to running back. It wasn't Mercury Morris. That was again before him. But I can't remember. They had a decent running back too. That was a good safety valve. Anyway, so yeah, that's how they're breaking mom's heart. Is they don't like Mexican food.
Dal doesn't like his name.
And they don't like the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, he's not alone in that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like them.
Yeah, I know, but they say a lot of people love them too. So.
Oh yeah. A lot of people, claim to.
I've been to one of their games Thanksgiving Day, and yeah, trust me, they have a following.
Did you really go on a Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah, I took my ex to the Thanksgiving Day game, not last year, but the season before, 2022.
Oh, that's cool.
And they fill that place, and people buy that merch like it's unbelievable, and they're fine. They don't care if you hate them or not.
Well, no, I want to say that they are the highest
valued,
yeah,
franchise
in the world.
Yeah, they're up there. One of the soccer teams, I think, from Europe is
Manchester United.
That's it.
Yeah,
it's like Manchester United and then the Dallas Cowboys. So
Manchester United, owned by the Glazer family, that also owns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who just gave Baker Mayfield $100 million.
Oh, did they sign him? I didn't know they signed him or not.
Yeah, 3 years, 100 mil.
See, now that he got the contract, he'll suck next year. That's how it goes. As soon as they give you that guaranteed money, you don't care anymore. You're like, I'm not getting hurt.
You're a math guy and you deal with economics. At what point is it just going to be too much? I mean, can they sustain this kind of growth?
Kev, it is. They can double it and be okay.
Really?
That's how much the NFL makes. That's how much these franchises make. Yeah, Kev, they can sustain it.
Okay.
And it'll continue to be that way. But my issue is and I've told you, if I was a general manager of an NFL team, when I have a player hitting their apex, I trade them for whatever I can get from, which is a lot. Yeah. Like imagine taking like people like JJ Watt at his zenith and saying, yeah, I'm not going to sign you to $200 million deal. We're going to see what we can get. You could get 3 great players and 3 great draft picks for JJ Watt at his zenith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that kind of Belichick had that theory as well. With the majority of his players, not Tom Brady. But let me ask you this, though. If you're continuously doing that, it's a cycle of you initiating or ingratiating new players into a system. Right. Can you win that way?
But if the system is good, you got to make sure you have a good system.
Okay.
You know, and to me, Kev, I've always been like, control the line of scrimmage. I put all my money into the offensive line and the defensive line. That's it. You put all your money on there.
Oh, look at where your winners come from.
Exactly.
I got lines.
If you
can't throw a pass if you're on your back.
If you give the guy behind you 4 or 5 seconds to go through progressions, a lot more quarterbacks are successful if they have that time.
Sure.
You know?
Totally
That's
get it. Totally get it.
I cannot believe an NFL team has not hired me as general manager yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting here talking to you once a week instead of putting together a dynasty. It's sad. It's sad.
We're only doing this for 90 minutes a week. You could still do both.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And you can help me with some of the deals.
Like,
yeah, Kev, I got this clown outside linebacker. He comes up there and he goes, I want $27 million a year. And I'm like, fuck you, dude.
And that's why you're not a general manager.
Okay. This has been fun.
Oh my God, dude. It's always a blast. I always look forward to Monday.
Yeah, I'm having a blast. I mean,
I used to hate Monday.
We hope that you're having a blast too, that if you're watching on YouTube or you're listening to us on a podcast. Please do us a favor though. I mean, when you get to these platforms, like, follow, download, subscribe, and give us a rating. Do all that stuff for us. It is so important. It's the life's blood that keeps this thing going. Tell some friends about us. Also keep in mind, we have Tuttle and Kline merchandise that is available. As you can see from Kevin Kline's shirt right there, the logo is sharp.
Yeah, we love our logo.
It is a really nice logo, and we have really good quality merchandise. Go to the Tuttle and Kline. Just search. If you search Tuttle and Kline on any social media, any podcast, YouTube, all that stuff, you're going to find our stuff, and we would love for you to order our merch.
We would very much appreciate that. Very much appreciate that. And it makes you feel good too.
Exactly. Studies have shown that if you wear a Tuttle and Kline logo, that really good things will happen to you. And I know you're saying to yourself, well, you guys have only had a podcast for a few weeks. How the fuck did you know that? I can't. I just completely lied through my teeth.
Well, but think about this. It goes back to what we were saying earlier. It's good positive karma deposit.
And a deposit in our account.
But that's not why we want you to buy it.
Which we need to pay expenses. Do you know what these podcast providers charge us?
That is true.
I don't know, because Kevin's wife handles all that and she knows.
That is true. That is true. It is not free for us to do this, as a matter of fact.
Kev, what do you have coming up on Fuzzy Mike?
Something that I mentioned to your daughter, Audrey, because Audrey's podcast called Your Hype Girl talks about positive mental affirmations and in just being positive overall. I have a guest this week, and she escaped a very, very traumatic upbringing, and now all her message is about self-empowerment and how to positively think in the light of negativity. It's a
Right.
really, really interesting conversation.
Good deal. All right. So click on the Fuzzy Mike, support Kevin in that way. Anything else happening? Announcing any hockey games?
No, hockey season's over.
Son of a, what are you
yeah.
gonna do?
Well, we're helping the team. We're putting together a golf tournament coming up on May 20th. We're doing that, but I'm gonna run, and I also get to do what I really, really enjoy doing, Timmy, destroying trees.
Yes.
Get to cut down some trees. We started a burn pile yesterday.
Oh, and by the way, I know a lot of you are like, well, Kevin Kline, he's a sports announcer, PA announcer. How does he stay sharp during the off season? He goes down the street when the kids have local games and they have little pickup games and everything like that. And he'll do some play-by-play before, as long as he can, before a parent comes out and decides to call the police.
Exactly. I usually get about a quarter in.
He gets a quarter in, and suddenly, and he's out of there.
Yep, he's gone.
So, all right, Kevin, great stuff.
Well, I got questions for you.
Okay, what do you have for me?
Wednesday, you're thinking about going up on stage.
I'm thinking about going up. If I know my material, see, I know what I'm doing now, and I'm not gonna half-ass it, man. I'm gonna really know this shit, and I'm gonna act it out, and I'm gonna kill it.
When have you ever half-assed anything in 30 years?
Well, Kev, if you're twice divorced.
Oh, that takes two to tango, brother.
Yeah.
It can't all be on you.
But if during the tango, one of them's doing a lot of foot stepping, that shit's going down.
I mean, as far as work ethic goes, you've never slacked. Never slacked.
So yeah, I'm gonna I think I'm targeting Wednesday night open mic.
Cool.
Which is tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we record these on Monday, so when we don't want to muddy our minds up with space-time continuum.
No.
So okay, so you're going up tonight, so to speak, and then my other question is, how many times will you see New Girl this week?
Well, it's spring break, and I got some other stuff to take care of, and she's got out of town guests in. And in regards to her business, she's got to take care of some things in regards to her entrepreneurial venture. I'm hoping that I'll maybe see her one time this week and hang out with her.
That's a good amount of time.
Oh, yeah. Kev, with Tim Tuttle, it's less is more.
Less is more.
I'm your best friend for an hour and a half, but by about an hour and 45, you're looking at your fucking watch.
There you go.
Right.
There's another thing you could put in your routine.
I know, Kevin.
I need to go. We record these, obviously, and go back and look, and I bet you there's about 5 things in this particular show right here that you could go back and hone.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'll look through it. Usually when I play these things back, though, I'm just, checking out how I look.
Of course.
But I should check some of the words that are being said too, shouldn't I?
Let me tell you, you look the same this week as you did last week. Yeah. Maybe a couple hours younger, actually.
Middle-aged. You look the same as you did. Middle-aged, motherfucker.
Well, you hid the arms this week, though. Last week you had the sleeveless on, but
yeah.
I mean, if you're going to hide the arms, though, Led Zeppelin's a good reason to do it.
You can't go full douche all the time.
Wow.
The only reason I do let me just clarify. The only reason you'll ever see me in the sleeveless is because I'm going to lift right after.
Okay.
Right all after. Right. Like right today, I've got to go run an errand before I lift.
Oh.
But I'm going to lift. If you see me in sleeveless, I'm like literally shutting down the podcast and going and lifting.
Man, I give you credit for being able to do that, man. Because if I don't get my workout in right at the beginning of the morning, I ain't gonna do it.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. If I don't do it in the first thing of the day, I ain't doing it.
No, I see. I like I'll do a set. Since we started the podcast, I do I'll trade my algorithm, and before I trade my algorithm, I'll have a nice meditation.
Okay.
And then after the podcast, I'll have a second 10-minute meditation. Visualizing the rest of the day.
You got to get that Kline out of you. Gotta meditate that Kline away.
Gotta purge that shit out of there. All right, man. It's been fun.
Had a blast, bro. Thanks for all the support.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Kline Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. Also, you can catch Tuttle on TV. He is a handsome man. And you can get more Kline on his podcast, The Fuzzy Mike, with new episodes on Tuesday. Stay fuzzy, friends. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Kline Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.